Hi, welcome everybody to Wine Roots, and today I'm here with Grayson Alexander. Welcome, Grayson.
Thanks for having me.
How
I'm
you,
excited to be here.
how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful day outside.
Yes.
Beautiful weekend in Napa.
Correct. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Walnut Creek, California. It's in the East Bay, San Francisco area.
Okay. And then way back, where are you coming from? Way back, like where are you from? Tell us.
Originally, I'm from Champaign, Illinois.
Okay.
hmm
And born and raised in Champaign.
Born and raised.
Okay. How is Champaign? I know a little bit about Illinois because I went to college there,
hmm
but a lot of people doesn't know how's the rural Illinois.
Yes.
How is it?
Okay, well, I think that I'm lucky to have grown up in Champaign, Illinois, because although it's a small town, we have a big university there.
Hmm.
The University of Urbana-Champaign is
Of
there.
course.
So I grew up right next to the campus, got to spend some time there, have friends go to college there.
Okay.
Champaign is, I think the population's around like 85,000 or something.
Yes.
So
But half of them are like students, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a small town girl growing
Uh-huh.
up in Champaign, Illinois, and yes, there's lots of
And
cornfields and
soybean.
soybeans
Of course.
around. So yes, that's
Big
a little bit.
combines
Yes.
running the yeah. It's
hmm
amazing. Honestly, when I came to the States with my family when I was a kid, we used to go to LA, Chicago, New York. So all what I had in my mind about the US was like big cities,
hmm
like big cities, sky falls, a lot of people. And then when I
Yes.
went to college in Illinois, I realized that wow, it's a completely different environment.
It's kind of the middle of nowhere, the
Yes.
Midwest. It's in the middle, and I think the only thing you have to worry about there is tornadoes.
Yes, because we have the basements, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yes, we don't have basements in
no.
California. It's
Anyway,
I grew up with like a basement. You have like the door that walks out
yes.
outside. I loved it. I loved it.
And then you also when you were in high school or in middle school, you know how to do when it's a tornado, right? Like get
Yes.
into the
You
yes, a
go
lot of people doesn't know that.
we'd go out into like we'd have the drills where you go out into the hallway, and
Uh-huh.
have you ever seen the meme of the
No,
tornado coming
no, no,
through and
no,
like the kids are like
no. It's like, how do you know it's a tornado? What's the meme?
I think that okay, it's like the meme is
Uh-huh.
the kids are out in the hallway and they're like huddled, and then the tornado's like, "Damn, gotta leave now." Because
Because
what is that gonna
they
do?
know the drill.
Yeah, the tornado's gonna win every single time. It's not gonna
Okay.
help.
So growing up in Champaign,
Yes.
um, and then you didn't go to University of Illinois, right?
No, I didn't.
Where did you go
I went to
to
the
college?
University of Missouri.
Okay,
hmm
it's Mizzou,
Mizzou. I'm a
Columbia.
tiger. Yes.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
So I started college wanting to be a veterinarian.
Wow.
So they had a really good veterinarian program, and it was also somewhere different from where I'd grown up. So
Hmm.
ultimately, that's why I decided to go there.
Okay. I mean, it's Missouri, right?
hmm
And I didn't know about this, but Mizzou has a really, I don't think it's big, but like a really precise department for viticulture, right?
They do, but
Yeah.
I had never heard about it
Okay.
or considered doing that
And
in my undergrad, really.
when did that change?
So I think it was kind of the perfect storm.
Okay.
Everyone always asks me how I got into wine.
Uh-huh.
And it was just kind of, I started as animal science, didn't really find my passion there, was able to kind of tailor my classes to things that I found interesting. And I kind of started noticing a trend in plant science and soil science classes.
Okay.
So I started taking a lot of those courses. And it was my junior year when I was taking a soil microbiology course.
Hmm.
At the same time, I went to go visit my cousin who lives in France,
Hmm.
and we went to Bordeaux together. And then I learned about terroir and
Uh-huh.
all the microbiology in the soil,
Yeah.
and I was hooked.
It's super
So
romantic.
it
Like when
is.
you're there, it's like Wow.
Me and my
Yeah,
cousin.
yeah, of course. You're drinking wine, looking the landscape, people talking about the terror, and it's man.
Yes. It was beautiful, and from that moment, I just kind of hit the ground running and started taking as many soil science courses that I
That
could.
was your sophomore year?
Junior year.
Junior,
It
okay.
was a late. It was a
Yeah.
late
Transitions,
realization.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your major?
My major is agriculture with an emphasis in
Okay.
soil science and plant
Okay.
science.
Because I need to tell you something. I'm gonna have I think in next month, I'm gonna have in the podcast my professor and the director of my college career, that is
Mhm.
ag business, and he has a PhD in Mizzou.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
What's his
mean,
name?
it's Mark Jenner.
That sounds really familiar.
Really? His brother, he's also Jenner. I think he works there now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
We need to
probably,
look into
yeah,
this later.
probably we have people in common there.
Yes. Okay.
So he told me Mizzou is making, like, as a university, same as University of Illinois, they encourage the people to do ag. Like he's
Mhm.
an ag school 100%, right?
Yes, 100%. That's why I didn't find I was animal science, and it was
Uh-huh.
a lot of raising animals for like beef production or
Hmm.
something, and it was opposite of taking care of animals and saving them. So
Okay,
I kind of veered off
like
from that.
become a butcher.
Yes. I took a lot of like plant genetics classes, and it was talking about soybeans and corn and the production of that. So
Yes, it's
I
super
kind of,
intensive.
yeah, once I fell in love with the wine industry, I tried to take that knowledge and kind of translate it to grapes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but being an agriculturist gives you like a lot of ground, literally, to explore whatever you want.
exactly.
I mean, everything comes from the ground,
Mm-hmm.
if you put it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted to be like a ag engineer in Mexico, but then when I realized there's like a ag business career, I wanted to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because you can work like everything, like corn, soybean, avocado, grapes, whatever you want. There's gonna be a
Exactly.
area for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to Europe, find out about the wine, go back to Colombia. I also heard a lot of crazy parties in Colombia. Is that true?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I was never at them. What are you
No,
talking
you
about?
were super caught up with studying and
No, I definitely had a good time in college.
no, because I have friends that they will rent a car to go for the Mardi Gras to
Yes.
Colombia because
Mm-hmm.
they say it's crazy over there.
Mardi Gras is probably the biggest in St. Louis, Missouri,
Yes, also,
than
yeah.
anywhere. Even like,
Chicago has also a big one, no?
I think Chicago is St. Patty's Day,
Okay,
and St. Louis is Mardi
the Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then you graduate from agriculturist uh, and decide to move all the way to California, right?
Yes.
That was how it works a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you were planning, or you just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a gap year. I need to figure it out, or you were already decided that I want to go to California to try it out.
I wanted to go to California. I have wanted to move to California since I was a little girl. So
Okay.
it all worked out perfectly. It's
Okay.
the best place to be for the thing that I find
Okay.
the
Yeah.
most interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the song? This is gonna be so funny. The song "I Should Have Been a Cowboy."
Yes.
Yes. There's like these verse that I love about the song is like, "Go west, young boy. Have you been told California is full of whiskey, women's, and gold?"
Okay. It's full of wine, women, and gold.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wine. Yeah.
I like that. Should have
Yeah.
been a cowboy.
Exactly. I should have had a round and ride. Wow, what a
I
great
like
song.
it.
Yeah. So Midwest girl moved to California, to Napa Valley to start making wine.
Yes.
How was that experience? How was that internship?
It was an amazing experience.
Okay.
One of the best experiences I've had in my entire life. I had a great team working with me,
Nice.
and I think that I landed at the perfect winery. So,
It was like a small, right? Small winery.
yes.
You live there, like pretty close in town.
Yeah, we had our intern house that was like 5 minutes away from the winery,
Mm-hmm.
and I lived and worked with the people.
Nice.
So it was,
And people from all over the world, different
yes.
backgrounds,
Yes.
right?
I should give them a shout out.
Yeah, please, please, please,
So I
please.
lived with Abe, and he's from Baja, California.
Shout out to Ave. Keep going, keep going.
Anya is my bestie. She's from
Agnes.
Cognac, France.
Shout out to Agnes.
Susan.
Susan.
She's from Georgia.
Georgia. Shout out to Georgia and Susan.
Shout out to Susan. And then Charette. He's from Taiwan.
Taiwan, yeah.
Mhm.
And you all were living together and working together.
We were all living together. There was two of us. Abe and Susan worked at different wineries, and then me, Charette, and Agnes, we went to work together every single day.
And harvest gets rough.
It does get rough,
Yes.
but luckily we all have really good attitudes, and
Okay.
it brought us closer together.
I mean, because sometimes when I was working in harvest, sometimes we were like 12 hours, right? And
We were having like 14-hour
exactly.
days. Yeah.
So you're working 14 hours days, and then with these people, and then you gotta go home. But when you go home, you're with these people that you already work 18
It's
hours.
so funny. I tell people this that don't really understand the harvest culture.
Yeah.
I'm like, so me and Agnes, we shared a room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we would go to work together for 14 hours a day. Then we would go to sleep right next to each other. And then after harvest was done, we decided to go to Hawaii together, and we lived in a van for a week.
Wow.
And
Like
we were
you
just like,
Agnes, right?
we need to be closer right now.
Yeah.
Actually, we haven't been close enough. So
Yeah, I mean
yes.
that's the type of the relationship that you build that lasts forever,
Yes.
basically. So I bet if one time you go to in the future, if you go to France to Cognac, she's gonna be happy to show you around. And if she goes to Illinois or Chicago or California, you will be with her and showing her around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's amazing. I think that's one of the main things I like about the industry, that it gets people from different backgrounds together.
That's if you were, I was planning to ask, if you were to ask me what my favorite part of harvest was, it's meeting the people from all over the world.
Okay.
And you're sharing their culture. They're sharing wines from either somewhere they live or work, and you're just having good times together.
I mean, because when you're living there, you have all these people living together, and they share their wine, and then you cook there. So maybe Agnes sometimes like prepares something like it's from France, or you prepare like something from these like homemade recipes, and you're sharing that part of you with those people.
And this is one of my favorite parts about living with them. I swear everyone was a professional chef.
Okay.
I think Susan and Charette had been to culinary school before. Abe is just Abe. He knows how to cook anything well.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm over here like, I can make rice and chicken.
Chicken fry.
Yeah, so I learned a lot about cooking.
No, and also it goes hand to hand, right? Wine and good food.
Exactly.
Yes. Wow, I didn't know about that. That's super cool.
Still perfecting the food.
I'm gonna tell Vel to cook me something.
Absolutely.
He knows
Abe can make us some birria tacos.
Ooh, he made those?
Yes.
Those are one of my favorites. Here's the thing, I realized this in the Midwest. When people are hungover, they go to McDonald's. Or Taco Bell. That's the best you can get there. When people in Mexico get hungover, they go to birria tacos.
Yeah. Just cheese and
yes, and
it's good for you.
Yes, and the cilantro, the onion, amazing. But yeah, when I was in college, I remember I went to a party, and I was like a little bit hungover in the morning, and the friends were like, "Yeah, let's just go to grab some Big Macs." I was like, "No, chicken nuggets."
You need to get some like water and vitamins.
Yeah,
in
and
your
rest.
body.
Yeah. So, you ended up with this internship. Validate that you really love the wine and what you're doing. You went home for Christmas, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, see your family and tell them like, what was the big news in Christmas?
What was the big news for Christmas?
That you were staying, huh?
I was gonna stay. Yes. I had already found somewhere to stay. I had accepted my job, and then found somewhere to live. I went home for Christmas, gave everyone this inside scoop, and then came right back and got into it.
And talk a little, like, can you share with us what you're doing right now? What's your day to day? What the best thing of your job?
Yeah.
What is it?
So I work for a beverage distribution company,
Hmm.
and I have a sales territory or a sales route, and I call on these accounts in and around where I live.
Hmm.
It's probably like a 15, no, too much, 10-mile radius.
Oh, okay,
So
sure.
it's a small territory. And I just kind of go to my accounts every day, really build these relationships
Nice.
and make sure that our products are competing well in the
Okay.
stores.
And how you see the wine market
How do I see
today?
in the wine market
Yeah.
today?
Do you see? Because it's competitive.
Hmm.
There's a lot of brands. There's a lot of people trying to put their wine in their shelves,
Yeah.
and I know it's hard because you gotta go through these distribution companies, and then you make deals with them so you can put your wine in the shelf.
Yeah, I think the hardest part about my job is the people that are the wine buyers in my stores really know the products and know what sells best in their
Hmm.
store. Sometimes the demographics a little different
Oh
depending
wow.
on which like region I'm in.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a wine store, sometimes it's a beer store, sometimes the higher end stuff does really well, and then sometimes it doesn't sell at all.
Okay.
So we'll have different goals for each month, and sometimes it'll be the higher end stuff we're trying to push, and I
Okay.
really struggle at certain stores. But I think building relationships, communicating, and following up
Okay.
is how you kind of make a name for yourself with your buyer,
Yes.
and sometimes they'll do you a little favor
Uh,
every once in a while.
one time I heard this phrase that it's people buy to the people they like. Do you
Yes,
think it's true?
I think it's true, absolutely. To an extent. I mean, you're
Okay.
always going to buy the stuff that sells, but it helps if they like you. So,
Okay. So it's more like people relationships working.
yeah, being
Okay.
consistent, showing up
Okay.
every day, and willing to help out if they need it.
Okay. And it's only wine, right?
No, actually,
No?
I work for one of the only distribution companies in Northern California that does beer, spirits, and wine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What type of spirits?
We have a big
Do you have
portfolio.
tequila,
We have tequila,
mezcal?
mezcal, tequila, whiskey, bourbon,
Wow.
everything under the sun.
And beers? What type of beers?
We do a lot of craft beers,
Okay, like small companies.
small companies. We don't do anything like Bud Light or any,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing like that. The building that I did all of my agriculture classes in is the
Where?
Anheuser-Busch building.
Oh, okay.
So
So you were working your way there.
everything's
So
connected.
what have you seen? What is like the biggest challenge to for the wines to compete against spirits and to compete against beers in this area of California?
Hmm, I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Because I went to this like wine meeting a
Hmm.
month ago, and they were talking about how sales are kind of pivoting and how the market now is going to more exclusive high end tier,
Hmm.
but also there's a market like on the mid value price that a bottle of wine that is between $12 to $15 is
Yeah.
not buying it. Like people are not spending $15 in a bottle of wine because they can get a six pack of beers with $20,
Yeah.
22.
I totally agree with that
Yeah.
because I think the products that we sell that do the best are anywhere from $10 to $20.
Yes.
So something that does really well is La Marca. I sell La
America.
Marca,
Okay.
and people drink it like water.
Yes,
So
and this is crazy because I find out that how a marketing strategy that La Marca uses that they put the product like on frozen shelf.
mhm.
So people are like, oh, it's fresh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna grab it.
You know what they say about that? They say if it's cold, it's sold.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. It's if cold, it's sold. And let's to wrap up this a little bit, Grayson. Right now, you are starting your career in this company, and also you just got like a WST certificate, right?
Hmm.
What is that about?
Okay, I'm certified WSET 3.
Three.
So there's kind of 4 levels. I think the fourth level, you have to take probably a few more exams here and there for it. But yeah, I'm working my way up.
Okay. And I know it's early in our careers and everything, but with that, that set you in a really good spot with knowledge and
Mhm.
with experience. And what is your vision, your goal with this? What is like Grayson big picture?
I think having my WSET certification kind of just gives me the confidence and like a solid foundation.
Okay.
So I can learn more about the products, about the history,
Yes.
and more about the region, and it's really solidified in my mind. My big picture, I think, like, are you asking where you see me and where I see myself in
Yeah.
the future?
Yeah.
I have a million different ideas every single day.
Shoot
I
for
think
the stars.
that's the beauty of being young
Yeah.
and ambitious.
Uh-huh.
So I think what's most important is just being present and enjoying every day, enjoying the
Okay.
journey
Okay.
and not the
Of
destination.
course. Of
So
course.
I'm just giving it my all every single day and seeing where it takes me.
Okay. I like that. So
Yeah.
every day we see from there. We go. Every day is a new beginning. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
So, um, if we can give like an advice or yes, like an advice or recommend people to start drinking more wine, because also a good thing about this platform is that I do want to people drink more wine. I think when you start drinking and sharing, you are you're more present, because it's like, okay, I'm not drinking just to get drunk. I'm drinking to share, and I want to share the story of this bottle. I want to share how I get this bottle. So one is a good starter for conversations, you know. And
Absolutely.
also, I want to share with you this story about, Thomas Jefferson.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's not Jefferson. It's George Washington. He
Okay.
was a wine lover too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He planted a vineyard in Virginia, but in that time, he realized that well, the 13 colonies had a problem because people were drinking too much whiskey, and whiskey is like a hard liquor, So if you drink 3 shots of whiskey, you're tipsy already.
Yeah.
So instead of prohibition, he wanted to people be more educated and drink wine, because you can have 3 glasses of wine and still being chill.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that mindset that, okay, there's no like cancel alcohol. Let's get people more educated and have them like understand the terroirs, the labels, the grapes, so they can share that with the people.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
think you don't have to drink all the wine. You can just taste it. You're
yeah.
kind of getting a palate for the region, and
Uh-huh.
you get to compare one plot from another, even in a smaller
Yeah.
area. So drinking with people that
Yeah. People, please drink wine, right?
drink
Drink
wine.
wine. Keep us in business. Okay, Grayson. So we do have to go to a tasting with Abe.
Yes.
So we're gonna leave, guys. But follow the podcast. Follow Grayson on Instagram, and cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grayson.